Welcome everyone. This is just a quick how-to video on creating the slideshow for assignment 7015. So here we are in the wiki, or the Moodle. And so to check out where we are under week 5, just click on this workflow diagram here. So this is the workflow diagram for both 7014 and 7015. Just keep in mind that everything that you do for these two group projects is being submitted by your group manager. And so this is where we are. Project, you're basically almost done. At this point, you should have created your internal communication and put that through the peer review and peer reply process. So you've requested peer review, you received peer review, you provided peer review, and then you've also done your proposal. So at this point, you should have already drafted your proposal in response to the RFP and put that through the peer review process, requesting peer review, providing peer review, receiving peer review advice, and you should be revising the proposal at this point. So so basically what we're working on here is this very last item over here. Now, it is okay to be working on the slideshow as you are going through the peer review process for the proposal, but I would highly recommend that you not create the slideshow until you have at least a solid draft of your proposal, simply because most of the information that you need for the slideshow, you're probably going to be getting from your process of writing the proposal. Okay, so this is where we are now, writing the slideshow or creating the slideshow. And then the next thing you're going to do is just submit the entire project. So at this point, you should have probably or are about to submit 7015 PR, which is the peer review process of the first drafts of your internal communication and the proposal, including all the peer review requests and responses. So that was the first submission, and now you are creating the slideshow, revising your proposal, revising your internal communication, and then you'll submit 7015 final. Okay, so that's where we are. So to learn more about this slideshow that we have to create, I'm going to skip on over to week 7. This is where all the 7015 materials are. And I just want to learn more about what we're supposed to do. So I'm going to click on any of these 7015 links in the overview of week 7. And this page in the wiki will pop up. So this is the Making Rain project. And I'm going to scroll all the way down to the very last task. So task number 5 tells you to draft a business slideshow of 15 to 20 slides long. Okay, so it gives you a range, and honestly, I'm going to be okay if you go a little under, a little over. Mainly what I'll be grading for is, does it look complete? Does it feel complete? But this is the range you want to shoot for. And what you want to pretend in this situation is that, okay, at this point, Alex Nostrovia has announced this request for proposal to MCG teams, and your team has put in a bid via your project plan memo saying, hey, we want to work on this request for proposal, here's our plan, and Alex has approved that. You have written your proposal, okay, and at this point you have set up a meeting with the business to give them a sales pitch, okay. They haven't yet read your proposal. You are there to give them a sales pitch, trying to convince them to read your full proposal, to consider hiring Mega Consulting Group to solve their challenge. Okay, so that's what I want you to pretend is the situation here. Now, you are not actually going to give a presentation since this is an online class, but I want you to pretend as though this PowerPoint, this slideshow, is going to accompany a real presentation. Okay, so if you open up this link here, Business Slideshow, this page in the wiki will pop up, and I just want to draw your attention to this information at the bottom. It kind of lists some relevant applications that you can use. All of these are fine. If you also know of a different program, just email me, let me check it out, and I'm sure it'll be fine. I know that uploading to Moodle PowerPoint is fine. I've definitely seen some really cool presentations using Prezi and slides. So use whatever program is going to, you know, you think works well, that you're familiar with, that looks professional and great. Okay, so what are you going to put in this slideshow? The number one mistake that you can possibly make is to just repeat your proposal verbatim as a slideshow. That's not going to be effective. So this is another one of those situations where you're taking information you already have that you've created for a different document, and you're going to revision it for a different medium, okay? The audience is still the same between the proposal and the slideshow, but the medium has changed. You're now in person, and giving an in-person pitch is very different than having someone read your proposal. So to help you with this, under week 7 of our Moodle, scroll down to the bottom. I've got all these resources here for you to refine your slideshows. And I've basically posted them in the order I'd like for you to take a look at them. The first one is this really cool slide deck, kind of pointing out the key things I'd like for you to know about why typical sales pitch structures, well, as they put it, suck. And what to do about it. So this basically kind of gives you an overview, a very brief and fun overview of what your sales pitch should shoot for. And then this blog is much more extensive, and you'll notice the difference between these in terms of delivery. So they're kind of echoing each other. They're definitely on emphasizing the same content, but you'll notice that this one is presented in a different medium than this one. So this one is a slideshow, and you'll notice the emotional effect of this is much more different than this very long blog. Now, the information in both is great. This one is definitely much more detailed and gives you a lot more tips about the style, and, you know, just really cool tips. But this kind of emphasizes the difference between your proposal, which is probably going to feel more like this, and your slideshow, which should feel more like this, okay? So this gives you some great examples of what modern contemporary slideshows in business pitches feel and look like. And I want to mention that specifically because of the next resource, which is basically about creating effective slides. I've taken an abbreviated presentation from Ken Suslek at the University of Illinois. You know, this just kind of talks about the visual design of slides and what content is too much. But you'll notice that it's very academic styled. It's not very business styled. And so I wanted you to see this blog here because the examples in here are much more contemporary business. And so while these slides are great here from Ken Suslek about, you know, just kind of rules of thumb about not overloading your slides and how to word bullet points and how to visually design them. These rules are all great, but this blog here will kind of show you what contemporary business pitches look like more, and the Ken Suslek is definitely targeted more towards academics. Okay, so just keep that in mind. The styles are different, but I want you to check out both of them because you'll be able to find useful information for both of them. And this is just a blank PowerPoint template that Ken Suslek made. So if you liked his style, you can use it. If you don't like it, you want to use something different and go more contemporary, definitely do that. Okay. Because what I'll be checking out when I grade these is a couple of things. Is the visual design emphasizing key ideas and images and graphics and not paragraphs? Okay, so that's some tips that you'll get from the Ken Suslek PowerPoint. The next thing is, does this look like a pitch? Okay, so this shouldn't look like, you know, just a PowerPoint version of your proposal. Does this actually sound like a sales pitch? Are you emphasizing, you know, the sale, trying to get the listener or the viewer to say, yes, we want to work with Mega Consulting. We're interested in the next step in that process. Also, is this targeted towards your audience? Okay, so is it creating a pleasant experience? Is it motivating them? And then also, finally, is this proposal or is this PowerPoint looking like a tool? And that means that even though you're not actually giving a presentation, the PowerPoint isn't the presentation. It is a tool for presenters. That means I should tell that this PowerPoint is actually supposed to accompany your presentation. Okay, so there shouldn't be a lot of text on there. It should just be key ideas, visuals, images that bring up a lot of information that you would be presenting. So I should be able to tell what the point is or what the key piece of evidence is, but it's not me reading your script. Okay, so those are just a few things that I'm going to be grading this slideshow for. Is it clear that you've targeted your content to a brand new medium to have a different emotional effect than, say, a long text would? And is it accomplishing its desired consequence? Will it get your audience to want to work with Mega Consulting? All right, so that's basically it. And once you're done with this, you're welcome to show me a few slides and ask my advice. But once you're done, you are done with 7015, and this will be the last first submission that you have to create in order to get to your final portfolio. So once you're done with this, have your group manager submit your project over here with 7015 final. Okay, so just keep in mind that you should have already submitted the first drafts of your internal communication and the proposal along with all the peer review requests and responses here. And now you're ready. You've revised those two documents, you have a slideshow, and now you're going to submit the final version of your internal communication and proposal plus a separate file for the slideshow. Okay, and that's it. You're done. So you'll actually submit two files, your slideshow as a separate file, and then one Word document with a title page, internal communication, and proposal, final drafts. All right, I hope that this was helpful, and good luck.